continue our journeys through the land of Chult this very rainy jungle morning, as our party is still recovering from last week's events. We'll jump headfirst into our announcements this evening. First, a couple of quick shoutouts. Big thank you to Team MZ. Their Twitter community does a lot of great support for small streamers like us. You can check them out at Team MZ. Many-sided dice. You hear me talk about them every single week. Check out the Lost Artifacts of Greygast. Normally, before JJ had to leave, he would hold up his physical copy of the book. Unfortunately, mine is all digital, so I'm not going to wave my cell phone in front of your faces. Nightshade Creations and their wonderful actual, physical accessories for your real at-home games.
JJ had one of those too, so...
JJ, you should have sent me all the stuff before you left so I could hold up actual stuff and props. We also are partnered with DiceBard recently, who you can find at dicebard.com as well as on Twitter. Great dice, tabletop accessory. Ooh, hey! Vanna White figured out how to hold it in front of the thing and get a good image of it this week.
Vanna White. I'm sad already.
Oh.
I've been practicing all week.
So as you can see, has great dice. Also has t-shirts, other accessories, and fun things you can pick up on their website. So don't forget, if you do go out there and check them out and place an order, don't forget to use the promo code PROBO, PROBO, to get free expedited shipping from them. And then last one I'll mention before we jump into our recap is we are also working with another group called Flying Horse Duck to backing their Kickstarter. They are making a 60-sided milled metal die made in any variety of standard D&D. So you can get a 60-sided D20, 60-sided D10, whatever you're in the mood for. A lot of fun. Check that out on Kickstarter. You can also find that by exclamation point dice. And I can't believe I almost forgot. Exclamation point Strahd. We are still casting for our newest stream coming up, as which will be starting, I believe it's in November, with DM Sarah right over there. But actually, I guess in Streamland it's over that way. And so exclamation point Strahd will bring you... Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Michael, for putting that in chat. Thursday night, we have the modifier again this week. Not sure what Michael's going to have up his sleeve for that one, but that'll be entertaining. Also, Thursday night is Mystic Hour with Christy Mysticwater, which Christy has invited some of the guys from the Friday night Storm King's Thunder game, mainly JJ, who you know from Gizzard here, Michael, the DM of Storm King's Thunder, MG, who plays Lachlan, and myself, as who you know from here, and if you watch Friday nights, as Molfin, the one pissing everybody off right now. So, and lastly, don't forget about our friends Insight Check on Saturday nights, 9:30. I think that covers all of our announcements. Sorry for the length of them this week. Seem to always forget one or two. I think I got them all this time, though. Actually, last week we did not elect a D20 at the end of the stream. And as it is sitting on Devaney's image right now, you know what? Let's just, we're going to make it just random, completely random this week, because I don't remember, other than a whole bunch of near tears last week, I don't remember much beyond the sadness. So
much sadness.
Gonna write on the Twitch stream, Solana 1, Devaney 2, Quen 3, Tuala 4. See what we end up with.
Wow.
Congratulations! Tuala gets a nat 20 for this week.
Oops, that's not nice.
Gonna waste it immediately on something inconsequential.
Love it.
Suddenly, Devaney goes flying through the air.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we will pick up where we left off last week, as our party had already been reeling from the madness-induced exhaustion that that brought Gizzard to his final rest. As the party said their goodbyes and set up camp for the evening. And then, wow, this is entirely, like, way too peppy. So we'll go switch up to that. It's like, yay, Gizzard's dead! As they have said their goodbyes to Gizzard and proceeded on a little ways. Their other traveling companion, Melik, having a lot of guilt and issues and just emotions dealing with the passing of Gizzard and the fault that so many of the recent, or the belief that so many of the recent problems the party has faced had been at his hand, proceeded to toss a rock into Tuala's tent to awaken him for their shared second watch that night, and then stealthily flee into the woods. As the group awoke and eventually found a note with a small pile of items left by Melik, and realizing that it appeared Melik had, blaming himself for many of the incidents, decided to take off and leave. The party is left standing next to the canoe that I think somebody was trying to print Stephanie on one side, but only managed to get through
Stefan.
Stefan
Stefan.
before emotion just overcame and had sent out both Avalta and Davy Jones. One familiar and one purchased trained pet flying monkey, carrying a wand of polymorph to go fly off.
Probably the best idea I've ever had, right, guys? Nothing could go wrong.
It's pretty up
Sending
there.
them off into the, heading northward, hoping to run into Melik, hoping that Melik knows which direction is north. So as we get to this point, the day is yours. The morning is somewhat, well, not somewhat, it's rather heavily rainy, but the day is yours.
It's like my emotions are on the outside with the rain.
So is this like the morning of, like, past the night when Melik left?
Yeah, so Melik left,
Okay.
give or take, probably like 5-6 hours ago, as far as you guys
Okay.
know.
And Gizzard died, and I just no. Devin, hug me.
Alright, Solana.
Okay, I'm gonna ugly cry a little into her shoulder.
I mean, it's already raining.
Yeah, it's okay. But I'm still like snotty and stuff when I pull away. I'm like, thank you, Devin. Quen,
Are you
come
ready?
here. Let me ugly cry into your shoulder.
So Quen is kind of rigid, and as you come close to him, the air around him actually feels chilled.
Okay, never mind. I'll just ugly cry. I'll pat you on the head and like ugly cry next to you for a minute.
It's very cold.
Yeah. How tall is Quen exactly?
Quen's 5'2".
Oh, that's like my height, so that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was reaching down to like a little boy or something, but he isn't. Oh. Okay. And I go to Tuala. I'm like, what? Tuala. And, I'm not gonna ugly cry near you.
That is probably for the best.
Mm.
Shall
Lana,
we?
Are
pack
you
up
ready?
camp and move on?
Are we ready to leave? What if Melik gets scared and comes back here? How will he know where to go?
I don't know if he even knows which way is north.
We should have left him bookmarked, but he kind of left without a trace, so I guess we couldn't have left him bookmarked.
He didn't say goodbye, not really.
Okay. Alright. I will... Are we still moving south today, or...?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna keep going.
I guess I will roll for survival
Okay.
with bookmarks, so that'd be like a straight roll. Right?
Yep.
Oh, great.
Quinn and Bookmark are aiding you in your attempt.
Fingers crossed. Nope. No idea. Sorry,
Down to
guys.
3 levels of exhaustion now, right?
2.
No, actually 2. You were at 3 at the point where the morning when you guys woke up after Gizzard. According to the notes I've got marked down, and then
I
you
think
slept.
I think we had this conversation last week too. We
Yeah,
got
so
You're
last-
interrupted
making it
first
worse.
rest.
Right. You got interrupted the first rest. So then you had the first night.
I got my first full rest was from 5 to 4 when Gizzard died, and then my second full rest was last night when Melik left. Right? Right? Yes.
Was it one night? I
I
thought it was 2 nights.
Yeah, 2 nights. But I was at 5.
I was at 5 as well.
Everybody except for Devaney was at 5.
I have that. I literally have written down that we were at 3 last week and that we should be at 2 now.
Yeah, that's... No, but I think...
No,
you know, it's...
I could be wrong.
I'll be at 2 levels of exhaustion.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Go
yeah,
for 2.
I'll take it.
Could be
Like,
2. Okay.
I'm not
Go for
fighting to
2.
get that extra level
Yeah.
of exhaustion.
Let's stop fighting, guys. Let it go.
We're still gonna find out where Solana's
Which
taking you
way
guys
we
today.
go?
So as you guys start piling into the canoe and start heading out to continue on your path down to the lost city of Omu. And day starts out as, well, as comfortably as this wet, miserable morning can for you guys as you...
Melik's canopy helps, guys. Remember that. The parasol.
I loved it.
As you proceed to travel through the morning portion of the day, doesn't seem really any problems whatsoever during your travel. During the evening, though, during the midday, I should say, all of you go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Fail. Crit fail.
Okay.
Crit fail.
Wow.
Crit fail.
Okay. It is just an absolutely beautiful day.
Yeah.
Rain's coming down, but you guys are used to that at this point.
I just
Today's
wanted to be
episode
noted
is-
that I crit failed higher than everybody else. So.
So as you guys continue along, it's again you don't seem to notice anything going on in the area. You're just. Is there anything anyone would be doing throughout your day's travel?
Can I make the separate straps? So instead of one on the front, one on the back, maybe one on each side or something. How big are these eggs? I forget.
They're a decent size, but you can basically sort of, I guess I'll say, water wing them. Easy enough. It's basically what the template Gizzard made was more of a messenger bag anyway.
Okay. Well, I'll
So it's
keep
easy
it
enough
like
to
that.
just sort of twist and turn
Okay.
it so it's off to the side for you.
Okay, I'll kind of try to make mine a little better now that I have his as a reference. So that's
Okay,
all I'm doing. because I'm not navigating really well anyway. So
You're still disturbed. It's been a rough
couple
day.
days.
Devney, Quentin, Tuala. What about the rest of you?
Quen would. So he's gonna find like the one spot on the canoe that isn't like protected from the rain, and he's like gonna lay his head out and look up at the sky. But like while he's like looking up and he's like still very chilly and like wintry, or like folks around who may notice like frost is starting to collect in his black hair, and like all around his eyes are becoming like frost ridden, and like he's been crying like frost.
Aw.
And that's like kind of what Quen is doing right now.
Can I ask
Not
a
very
question?
well.
Can I ask a question about that?
Mhm.
Do your seasons just change by themselves, or do you get to change your season yourself sometimes?
So how I roleplay it is like every day he changes, but when like big traumatic things happen, he'll switch
That
like
makes sense.
right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wondering.
hmm
Okay, so as you guys are diving through Tuala, anything you'd be doing?
No, I am contemplating the last several days quietly.
And Deputy, sitting in the back, will be cleaning, polishing, and sharpening various weapons that she has. Also, just thinking about things while she does it.
Okay, so as you guys continue on through the day again, it's nothing overtly noticed by nothing you guys have noticed happening around you as you guys are continuing along your path. As you eventually find yourselves getting a little later in the day, a little closer to the evening's rest. You start to notice, and Solana, I think you are the only one who would not pick up on this. Just give me a second as I check everybody. Yeah, so you're the only one with the high enough passive perception, it looks like. You start to notice a faint smell on the... it's a little hard to pick up because of all the moisture and the rain in the air. But past that, you start to pick up the scent. The only way to describe it is it smells almost like death.
Oh, hey guys, it smells like moist death.
Leave me out of this. I showered.
Oh, not you. Like actual death. And it's moist outside, so it's gross. Like
Well,
burning
turn to
death,
death
or
one day.
like decay. Would I know?
I'm sorry?
Like burning death or decay or like
Like decay.
decay. Okay, it's definitely smells like decay, and it's probably not good because that's always an indication of something dead.
If I smell, as she has pointed it out, am I able to smell it now that I'm like...
Yeah, as it's being pointed out to all of you, you're starting to pick up little hints of it. It's still, given the storm, it's hard to really get a sense of direction from it.
Okay.
But you're all starting to pick it up.
What time of day is it right now?
It's probably like early to mid-afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Is it, am I able to tell whether it's like the smell of decomposition of like meat, or is it more fungal? Is it more plant?
Go ahead and we'll say make a Let's say make
Roll for nostrils.
yeah. Let's say survival, I guess.
Survival. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, survival. Can I assist?
For sure, that'll make it a straight roll.
Yes, I'm good at survival. Yeah.
Oh, holy hell!
Yeah.
As Solana has pointed this out to you, and being from this area, yeah, this is meat.
Ooh.
This is probably walking meat.
Walking meat. Okay.
Rotting walking meat. There you go.
Ew.
Very specific.
Gross. It's very humid out here. That doesn't sound nice at all.
This has the stench of undeath to me. Do you agree, plant elf?
Yes, yes. Smells like rotting something.
We should proceed with great caution.
Okay. Devaney, get out one of your sharpest pointy things and get ready to point at stuff.
If you just want pointing, my fingers work fine enough.
No, pointy thing. Your hacky pointy thing.
Alright, Solana.
That'll probably be helpful. Quinn, you remember to burn stuff, because you're really good at burning things.
Yes. Burn. I remember heat and fire.
Or
Not now. There is only the chill of death.
Or freeze them. Or necromancy, or whatever you do when you're in this mood. You know, you look a little sad. Do you need a hug? Oh, okay. Eh. Okay.
I'm missing a Volta right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, go ahead and you and Solana, go ahead and make survival checks for your little flying friends out there.
Oh, and David Jones has a sheet. What did I do with David Jones? Well, survival, let's see. That is wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah.
Oh, Davy Jones don't know nothing.
So when you guys sent them out, what Devaney, what was the instructions you specifically gave your familiar?
I believe it was to keep an eye on Davy Jones and make sure he found Melik.
Okay, so is okay, so that is excellent to know. Thank you. So as they're off doing their thing, you guys are left traveling along this river, smelling death.
Can we see
And decay.
anything on the sides? No.
No, you don't notice anything yet. You're getting a very slight hint of the odor, but you're not seeing anything.
Okay.
Does it appear to be getting stronger as we proceed downriver, or fainter as if we have passed the source?
With your last check on that, it seems to be getting potentially a little stronger.
Ooh. That's not good.
Should we consider proceeding on foot?
Well,
For a time.
that would take forever, and if the death is coming from one of the sides of the river, we don't want to pick the wrong side.
Many times we have avoided things by being on the river and just sailing past.
Zombies can't swim. Oh, great. The DM's gonna come up with the swimming zombie. Great. Great. Why did I say that out loud?
As you say, I shall abide. I simply
In your
worry
history
about having.
as a local, have you noticed them on land or water before?
No, DM. Have I? What kind of experience do I have with the undeath?
You would know for most of the, I guess we'll call them rank and file undead that you find, like adventurers, natives, as far as things like that. They tend to wander and stay away from the water, given the predators that lurk within. But at the same point, you are all very aware that there are some undead out there that are large enough to walk across the river with no problem.
Oh yeah, like zombie. Oh, big zombie
T-Rexes.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, you've run into and seen zombified dinosaurs, so...
Yeah, that was awful.
Urges a
probab-
calculated risk in either direction.
It's probably the throat leeches.
It is. I hate those throat leeches.
It is possible that we bypass them altogether by staying on the river, but it is
And actually,
not
while
impossible.
you would also know that there are... you've run into in your past zombified ogres, as well as Growlin zombies, which is something that the rest of you would have no idea about.
Now I'm gonna look it up.
So I'll just say, we can proceed in the water, but we should be vigilant for the possibility that we encounter something that is not deterred by the depth or current of the river.
I looked up growling zombies, and I think I spelled it wrong because what came up was garlic zombies.
This is why you shouldn't cheat.
I just wanted to know what they look like.
Oh. You never know, you might find out.
Okay, never mind. Won't tempt fate or the DM anymore.
Yeah, so Devaney is for just keep going to see if we encounter it or we pass by it on shore or what happens.
Do you guys want to like row? Maybe we'll go faster.
I'm too tired.
Okay, I'll row a little. Does anyone else want to row?
I can assist.
Okay, we'll both row a little to go faster.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and both you make strength checks for me.
Okay, yeah. 3.
Just a straight strength check, not like an athletics.
Oh, you can use athletics if you
Oh,
want.
okay, I have athletics. Yes!
Oh, Oh, not bad. You guys do seem to start picking up a little bit of speed on this. So as you're as you start to continue down the river, again picking up a little bit of speed, you notice that the scent is getting a little bit stronger now, and you're noticing it a little more on your right-hand side as you're heading south
Okay,
through the
how big is the river? Like, is there a way we can lean
It's-
towards the left a little?
you can definitely sort of I guess I'll say squeeze that direction a little.
Yeah.
At points it's about 30 or 35 feet across.
Oh, okay.
At other points it narrows just, well, I won't say narrows, but you've got trees and things hanging over, so it's, while it doesn't really narrow, you think if anything was to come from the trees it would have a fairly easy trip to drop down.
Okay. I'm still paddling.
And as you guys are going, what is your order sitting in the canoe? I know Devaney said she's typically in the back.
I'm typically in the front.
Just due to his size, Tuala probably has to be closer to the back.
Okay.
Quinn will be in the front with Solana, I guess, because we usually navigate
Yeah.
or are doing that.
Yep. And then, unfortunately, I have lost my little toe tag carrying your shield guardian. So, Ms. Producer, if you can follow the bouncing player flag 2 to the left for me,
Sure.
Ew.
as we find you guys heading down
There we go.
a little ways over. So as you're heading south, and you guys are noticing the scent is getting much stronger. Go ahead and everyone, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Or I should say anyone who wants to.
Ha! Crit failed like 3 times already tonight.
Get him out. Get them all
Yeah,
out.
get them out of the way now. Okay. So out of all of those, Devonay actually, let me, before I say that, let me just make sure here. Let's see. Okay. So actually, that being said, all of you notice heading from the trees on your right-hand side, about 15 feet up, swinging, and they're about, give or take, about 40 feet away from you. Oops, that is on the wrong layer, so sorry, give me a second.
What time of day is it?
It is.
It's early afternoon. It's probably a few hours after lunch, but it's a little while before dinner, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Okay, there. Token.
Oh,
What the heck is that?
that would be what I was trying to spell.
This is what Sarah was unable to spell. So I'm just going to blow this up.
Oh.
Oh my god,
Get
that's
a good
horrific.
look at it.
The zombie.
What you're seeing is with 2 arms swinging from the trees heading towards you, 2 more arms beneath those, fists pushing together.
Jeez.
These 2 large creatures swinging through the trees heading towards the canoe and you guys in it.
They look horrific.
And with that, I need to ask you all to go ahead and roll initiative for me. As we will start. Oops. Okay. Okay. And that will actually bring us to the top of the order with Tuala. As you can see, these 2 creatures, again, slowly swinging towards you.
How far is the canoe from the side of the river closest to us?
Closest to you?
Yeah.
Maybe 5-7 feet.
Is there like standable ground? Is there like could we plausibly steer hard in that direction, kind of like moor the boat up on the side and get out so that we don't have to fight these things in the boat?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Then I would like to shout to the group. head for the shore. I do not wish to fight these in the canoe. And I would like to do what I can, since I'm already rowing, to steer us into the sides that everybody can just hop out onto shore.
It's Solano. Hearing him yell this out, would you be fighting this at all?
No, I'd be helping him.
Okay, so it's very easy for you to, even just yourself, sort of push this up and get you wedged on. Get you guys up onto the shore. Given that Solana's not fighting it, we can call this your movement just to sort of guide it over and I'll say almost like crash up onto the shore.
Then from that point, all I will do is stand up, and I would like to I'd like to ready an action.
Okay.
So if one of these things enters into my threat range already, and glaive attack at them.
Okay. So that will bring us over to Quen.
Quen will see these gross, ugly, smelly things, won't even blink, and will cast Ice Storm. Centered on them, so that's a dexterity save.
Okay. And you're centering it right in between the two of them?
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius.
Okay. I thought it was bigger than that.
Sleet Storm is bigger than that.
Okay, so that's what I'm getting confused.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Ice Storm and Sleet Storm. I'm like, oh, okay, work.
Okay, so dexterity saves. Okay, so first one makes it, second one makes it.
Yep.
Okay, so it's half damage on a save for that?
Yes.
Okay.
And that whole 20-foot radius is difficult terrain until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. And that will bring us over to Solana.
Hey, look, I made a thing. Can I make that web?
Okay, so you want to... Okay.
It's double difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Let's do is I am gonna draw a shape. Okay. You said it was a 20-foot radius, right?
20
Place it
feet.
like front of where that is, so that it's like difficult terrain all the way to us.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I can do that. I can move it like there. Do you mean?
I don't know where the difficult terrain from the ice storm is.
Hold on.
So it's like here, all around.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So that's the size of the sleep Quen's effect.
Oh wow.
Quen's
Quen's
just
effect
centered on here.
is huge. Is mine bigger than that? Wait, 20-foot cube. No. That's
20-foot cube.
from the point of duration,
I'm
though.
stealing
So
yours.
mine's bigger than that, actually.
No, because Quen's is a 20-foot radius, which makes it 40 foot across.
Mm-hmm.
Quen, you're also...
Yours is a
running-
20-foot cube, so yours is 20 by 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can move it and put it where you want. That's where Quen centered.
I'm just gonna
His,
put it
though.
right there.
Okay. So, okay, so starts or makes a dexterity save there, okay? That will
Actually,
bring
do you
us-
have to make a dexterity save for yours, Quen?
Sorry?
Do you have to make a dexterity save for yours too, Quen?
What do you mean from? Oh,
Get out
Yeah,
of here.
it's-
they already did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's only when it hits them they make a dex
Oh,
save.
okay. Alright, I'll
Yeah.
put mine there so they have to move through it a little.
Okay. So that will bring us to you. So as all of a sudden, Solana, you notice swinging out of the southern portion. What? Really?
What?
They changed my hotkeys.
Oh no. Roll 20.
So as
then?
you see, as this creature comes swinging out of the jungle and leaps out at you
Oh great.
from the south, where you guys had not seen them. As he comes flying down towards the canoe and is going to miss the canoe, but is still coming within range of you,
Okay.
is going to make its multi-attack with you, at you,
Great.
which is 1 bite and 4 claw attacks.
I love
Oh boy.
that. That's
So-
gonna miss.
9, 10,
Nope.
11,
Nope.
19, and 13.
No. Why does it
So
say
as
my
it
armor
comes-
class is only 14? It should be 18. It's really strange.
So as it comes flailing down past you and not quite judging the distance properly on its attempt, takes manages to get 1 slash across you for 6 points of damage
Okay.
before landing in the murky water beneath you
Ooh.
and vanishing.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
And that will bring us over to Devon A, who has just seen this creature come flying out of the trees, slash into Solana before disappearing under the water.
Ugh. They can swim, and I was completely wrong. And Gorham, tree monkeys.
Well,
Somewhere Davy Jones rolls over in the air.
I kind of just want to fireball it, but it will burn your webs.
No, that's fine. They take
So
damage
that's-
if you fireball the web.
Yeah,
Well,
if they're dead, they can't move anyways. So it wouldn't work.
True enough. So I'm going to dig up my wand of fireballs and cast a fireball at 3rd level.
Okay. And where are you aiming this?
Basically right on top of Quen's, what was it, ice storm?
Yeah,
Or
Right in the middle of
blizzard,
the
or
queue, you can see.
ice storm. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Okay, so that is 2 dexterity saves for them again.
Ooh.
Saves and fails. Okay, so the first one takes half damage.
And they
This one
also
takes the whole
take
thing.
2d4 fire damage.
Yep. So we'll have you roll for that because it hits when when it starts its turn in the fire. So we'll have you roll for that in just a moment.
Oops, I rolled already, and I
Oh,
rolled
that's
a
okay.
2. That's great.
That's okay. We'll just do that at the same point. That one was 23. And then 2. Okay, so the one that's a little further to the south is definitely looking a little rough at the moment. Okay. So with that being said, we now come to the 2 of them. Okay, the first one is going to use its its full movement to get almost all the way out of Quen's area of effect, and is then going to use its aggressive feat to swing and leap out of the tree. The rest of its movement towards Tuala and Devonay. So as it enters your threat range, Tuala, you get to go ahead and make your attack.
Okay, just quick question before I start making rolls here. I also have Polearm Master, which says when it enters my threat range, I can use a reaction to make an attack. Do I make 2 attacks because of Polearm Master, or just the one?
Nope, technically that. Yes, you could use your reaction to make 1 attack, and then your held action for the others. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say
Yeah,
make it.
then make 2 glaive attacks at him as he jumps across.
Okay.
So,
One, two.
Ancestral glaive number 1.
Yeah, so that'll definitely hit.
So there's some damage that. Holy crap!
Wow.
There's some
Nice.
damage there.
Crikey's.
And then, hang on a second. Oh, you know what? That lightning damage does not count. That's I have
Oh,
I
that's
have a
for what-
second one on here with a spell
For the-
attached to it. So that's
Okay.
it's just the slashing.
Just the 13? No, that's still. Huh.
That is the lightning damage for the magical
Okay.
effect glaive, and then that's the second glaive attack.
Okay, so that will hit as well. So go ahead and roll your damage for that.
Okay.
Okay, as this thing is definitely looking to be in rough shape, but as you've carved into it the first time, it turns and focuses its attention more on you than on Devaney as it was first looking at, as you have now become the threat. And it is making its 5 attacks against you.
Ooh.
So
Right before it
has,
plunks into the water.
Yep. That's 8. I'm just gonna roll them all out. Okay.
24, I think, is the only one that hits. Wait, what's my armor class? Yeah, the 24 is the only one that hits.
Okay. So, going forward, so that is 8 slashing damage. Is
Okay.
literally the exact same situation happens. Is it just plummets in front of you and splashes into the water?
I go.
And then our last one is basically. Let's see here. Oop. So we can use. It's, as far as it can get on its move, and it uses its aggressive to get the rest of the way out. Actually, this one, because of the radius, can actually make it to the canoe. So it is jumping directly at Quen and Solana. And this one, let's see, we're just gonna see who this attacked randomly. Okay, so Quen is 1, Solana's 2. Okay, so
Pretty even.
yeah, so let's go on bite to Solana.
Don't fight me.
Claw to Quen, well, 1 bite and 2 claws to Solana, and then 2 claws to Quen. So we'll do Solana first with a bite,
Don't fight me. Oh, he
and
bit
then
me.
2 claws.
Clawed me.
Oh no!
Okay, so as it comes landing on the back end of the canoe, it is let's see here. So it chomps down onto Solana, and then with 2 of the claws carving into your back, Solana, as it then turns its remaining 2 limbs towards Quen,
Oh my god.
and well, no, the 9 won't hit, but manages. One of them just can't get around the back, just misjudged it, and the other one slashes into the side of Quen for another 8 points of damage. And that will bring us back to Tuala, who has just seen one plummet into the river in front of it, but now the canoe is sort of rocking a little as this massive creature is standing on the very front of it, 1 foot on the ground, teeth dug into Solana's shoulder.
As long as a plan. Sort of.
I think Tuala is so angry he's gone silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. I was asking how big are these dudes? Is this something that I could potentially like shove / linebacker off the canoe?
Technically, yeah. It's about the same size as the strange, half leopard, half snake creature you did it to.
All right, sweet. So I'm gonna rage
Nice.
and use my storm aura to attempt to, which is the one that does this. Hang on. Nope, not that one. Storm aura. He needs to make a dex save or take 1d6 lightning damage.
Okay.
As I rage. Here's my Storm Aura.
Oh, nice.
That is a 21.
What
So
the
is it half damage, or he just dodges it completely?
I think he just dodges it completely. Doesn't say anything.
Okay.
Okay, and then so I would then like to basically just like bolt forward and throw my entire power into this thing and try and just like smash it backwards off the side of the boat, or off the end of the boat, I guess.
Okay. So go ahead and make a strength check as you come charging into it. We're just going to see if he can withstand it.
Saving throw.
He's currently got or actually, for you, if you want, you can make this an athletics check.
Oh, I definitely want to make this an athletics check.
I love watching Tuala just suplex things.
Uh,
I have an advantage because I'm raging, but
disadvantage because of the
because of
exhaustion.
straight roll.
So it's an 8 against.
Yes.
Nice. That'll do it.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
go ahead and roll 1d4 plus your strength modifier. As actually, we're gonna see where he lands. That's gonna roll a 1d2. On a 1, he lands prone on the ground, right to the side of the canoe. On a 2, he lands in the water.
Can we see the ones in the water?
Also, yes.
So wait a minute. So does it? Okay, was it 2 on the ground or in the water?
Water.
2 is in the water.
Okay. That's it. Sorry, my head went blank for a minute. I'll say go ahead for free. Everyone, go ahead and make a perception check. As the water is murky, it's Solana. No, you can't see anything. Quen the same. Devaney, you can sort of see some ripples a little bit, but even you can't really get a clear
Oh,
shot.
so they're like down in the water.
Yeah, it's not like their head is sticking up. They are literally like.
Submerged. Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
You're guessing if you had to, this is probably like 10, 12 feet deep.
Okay.
Okay, Twala, you're pretty much in the same boat as Devaney. As you can sort of see ripples where they went down, but you really can't see much at the moment. Okay, Quen, that brings us back to you. There's one in the water to your side. There's one that just took a swipe at you that Twala just sent off the other end.
Yeah, they're all in the water. So okay, so I want to cast Shatter in the water. So it's a thunder, but that's sound, right?
Yep.
So I want to cast Shatter at did it go through?
No, it hasn't popped up as of yet.
Yeah, I want to cast Shatter at level 3. Oh, that's why. It's not coming up on that for some reason.
Okay, well, go ahead and roll your 3d8 and just show me where you're looking at putting it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
And where are you looking at setting it down?
So it's a cube, and
It's
I want
a,
to.
What is it? It's a 10-foot radius sphere, so it's a 20-foot.
Sphere.
It's a 20-foot orb.
Okay, yeah. So I want to throw it down at least like 20 feet downwards, and then make a big boom, like kind of like under us.
Okay. So let's see here. As Okay. As you. She does. Let me just.
Oh, and
say
it's just
point of C. A point of your choice. No. Yeah. So as you and you're saying you want to do it 20 foot down.
It's a 10-foot radius. Yeah. Yeah. So like 15 feet down. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want it to hurt
That's
Stephanie.
Okay, and that's a Constitution save. So first one fails. Second one makes it. Okay. So after a couple of seconds, as you guys really don't see or hear anything, you see a little sort of ripple and plump in the water as it fluctuates, and then about 2 or 3 seconds later, you see one of the bodies just float up to the surface.
Nice.
Got it.
On the other one, you have no idea. You don't see anything.
They're still out there.
That'll bring us over to Solana.
I am not feeling well, and I am mad. So I'm gonna do call lightning, and it is
Oof.
storming already, right?
Yep.
So I'd get an extra. So I want to like focus it like around here where I last saw the guy go in the water. The girl.
Oh, okay.
So call lightning.
So then,
So
And
I'm
Do
gonna-
anything extra
Call
if you're hitting something in water?
I don't know, but I get an
That's-
extra 1d10 for it's
It's
storming.
okay. So now with Call Lightning, it's you call it down at a point that.
Why
let's
is it
see
a
here.
DC 11? My stats are really weird. I have a spell save of DC 15, and it didn't come up as that.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that when we go to a break.
Okay.
So you need to choose a point to call down the lightning bolt.
Okay, can I choose, like, over here?
Oh, okay.
Or like, the stump. Whatever it is, so it doesn't
Yeah,
get...
just somewhere out.
Yeah, just somewhere so it doesn't get us.
Oh, okay. So it's let's see here. Yeah, so as you summon you guys watch as the clouds that you are above the canopy now seem to sink down, and all of a sudden you can see these dark black storm clouds poking down through the canopy as you watch as a bolt of lightning strikes down and hits the shore across from you guys. So you don't think it hit either of the creatures that are somewhere in the water right in front of you,
Oh, okay.
but you now have that spell up and available for you.
Yeah, okay. Can I use my bonus action
No.
to heal myself, or is that not allowed? The healing word.
No, because Call Lightning's never remember. It's
It's an action.
you can use what spell? There's a bonus action spells that will do it, but I want to say you can only cast them if
It
Is it
has
the
to be
second level?
cantrip.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it's a cantrip. But does that have to be
yeah.
second level or was that a crit
It's
roll
a
thing?
fir-
I never remember.
It's
A
a
cantrip
first-
and a bonus action regular spell.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry about that. I always forget. Okay.
no worries. So with that will bring us up to this creature here that is going to actually jump.
I
Well,
should have
is-
moved.
What passes for a jump to this creature is going to pull itself up just enough to get its arms out of the water, grab hold of Solana,
Oh.
try to drop back into the water.
Is that within my threat range to glaive him?
Yep.
Alright.
And while you're taking that swing, go ahead, Solana, and Gonna be an 8 for a strength roll as this thing's trying to grapple you.
Is it athletics? Or
You
straight
can do
strength?
athletics if you want. Okay, so as this thing comes up to try to pull you down, that will definitely hit, so go ahead and roll some damage.
I say, unhand her, monster.
And as, quite literally, as you slash it back down and it proceeds to fall back into the water, you launches it sort of starts pulling itself up onto the shore next to you. And with that, that brings us over to...
Oh no, it grappled me because I only rolled a 7.
Oh! That's it. I keep forgetting the disadvantage. Thank you.
Sorry.
So yeah, so as that happens then, as he hacks into it, both Solana and... I'm going to leave your token so you don't lose visibility.
Okay.
But both Solana and the zombie
Hmm.
disappear back under the water.
Can I make an attack of opportunity?
If it doesn't leave his threat range under its own willpower, it does not invoke an attack of opportunity. I know
No,
that's
I mean,
Yeah,
can I?
right. No, it's...
What can I do?
I'll say sure, go ahead. Why not?
Okay. I'm just gonna stab at it with bookmark.
Okay, go ahead and roll some damage.
nice.
Okay. Let's see here. Just going to do that.
Throat leeches, I forgot. Crap.
Ew.
Okay, so as you carve into it, you can watch. You see the blood and ichor pour out as it falls under the water with Solana, but it does not let go.
Give her
Seems to still
back!
be on its. You can tell it's looking rough, but it's still definitely kicking at the moment. That'll bring us over to Devon A.
Each subsequent episode, an original party member is going to die.
It's like a horror movie.
But-
Yeah.
Or get throat leeches.
Yeah.
And then there were none.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to ready a magic missile for when another one of those guys pops up out of the water.
Okay. And okay, you are not there.
No one can heal me! Except for me! Oh no, this is terrible. I'm the only healer.
So with this one being it's, I want to say it is you have 1 minute per your con modifier, minimum of 1. So what's your con modifier,
3.
Solana? Yeah, so if you guys can't get this in 30 rounds, then you might have a problem, but
Okay.
Maybe
but you have bigger
fight.
problems if you can't get it under 30 rounds. Okay, so with that being said, Quen, you notice as you start to feel the canoe rocking a little bit, even though it's mostly like pushed up on the onto the bank, you still feel like something sort of pushing lightly on the underside of the canoe.
Something's down there.
As all of a sudden erupting out of the water next to you, and again reaching up and trying to grab hold of you, is another one of these creatures. It's going to make a grapple attempt against you. That is a 19. You should go ahead and make a strength or athletics check.
Can I make a dexterity check? Or, sorry, no, an acrobatics?
Sure, you can try to dodge out of the way of it. Why not? So that is a 10. Unfortunately, he manages to grab a hold of you, and much as with Solana, falls backwards into the water as Devaney sets off her held action for her magic missile. So go ahead and roll that for me.
This is at level 2 because I can.
Nice.
Okay, as
And
that
it's worth it.
disappears, and that definitely takes some damage. Is multiple darts, and Quen, you hear Devaney in the side as you're yanked off your feet, and you watch as these bolts slam into this thing's body as it pulls you down into the water somewhere near where Solana is. And that'll bring us to Tawala, who has just watched both Quen and Solana get yanked into the river.
He just saw the kids get attacked by a zombie.
Yeah.
I turn to Guardian and I go, and I jump over the side of the boat into the water.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
And this is just, given your jump, this is just a straight roll, but you landed on something. There is something right in front of you.
Oh no.
I was going to do something, but now I'm not convinced. I'm not going to cut Solana in half if I do it, so I will attempt to grapple whatever it is that I feel.
Okay. So go ahead and make your strength check.
If it feels like a zombie monkey, I will hold it very tightly. If it feels like one of my party members, I will attempt to pull them out of the water.
Okay. Okay. So as you drive down and reach in and wrap your arms around what is a much less hairy body than you were necessarily anticipating, as you are trying to pull this individual away from said grappling creature, it is going to make a strength check to hold on to it. So as you are currently grabbed on and pulling on one half of Quen, and the Grillion has the other four arms latched on and is just not letting go.
I would like to, at the very least, attempt to sort of whatever part of his body I have as I pull. I would like to sort of just give a tap to hopefully convey that they are not the clawed hands of a demonic, zombified gorilla, and are in fact aid, so that he does not kick me in the face.
So, Quinn, you definitely feel some smaller, less, hairy arms grab hold of you, and after a rather rough tug, and realize that, okay, I'm not going anywhere, this is somewhat, uncomfortably reassuring, petting and motion that you can't see, but you've got a pretty good feeling, given Solana was pulled down first and then you got a pretty good idea who's down there trying to help out.
I'm having deja vu. So Quen...
And that literally brings us to you, unless Dwala's got anything else he's doing.
No, I think I did everything I can do on my turn.
So Quen is just going to scream while he's being held, and
No,
while
close your
he's
mouth. Throat leeches.
while he's screaming, he's gonna unleash a thunder wave from his mouth. And it's the same thing, it's also not popping up. Oh, there it is. There it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, two things, Quinn. First one, go ahead and make a con save.
Okay.
Okay, and
Oh,
then
no.
second is roll a d8 for me. As you are getting twisted and turned, we're going to find out which direction this thunder wave is going off in. Okay. Okay. So with how you guys are laid out, so go ahead and roll your 2d8. Well, actually, this. Oh no, this. So yeah, go ahead and roll your damage for me, and then I need Solana and the gorilla to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage, Quinn, so we can see how much you're going to end up taking.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. So, and your spell save DC is a 15, right?
14.
Okay, yeah, so they both save. So, Sonia take 1 point of damage,
I'm at half health.
and with that, Solana, you actually. Actually, that's right. Hold on, let me. Okay, nope. So you feel the arms start to loosen for a second before they latch on again, as it is still holding on, and you are currently underwater.
I got a plan. I'm gonna turn into a giant constrictor snake and grapple the guy that's grappling me.
Ah, how the
Please.
tables have turned.
Please, God.
I also have a swim speed, so I can swim underwater.
Okay, so, and I think we have a giant constrictor snake in the beasts category here.
Do I? So I can roll with that?
So give me a second to just get that over here.
Or plus 2.
So we're going to stick Solana out here at the moment, as this is.
Oh,
I
jeez.
love this. I love it.
So, go ahead and
These
you
are
have
the
access to
moments
that-
we live for.
You have access to the sheet for that. It's under beasts.
Okay. Beast. Okay.
Then go ahead and make your
Giant.
strength check against the gorilla, and that is.
Okay, that would be a constrict attack.
Okay. Well, let me. Is wild shape for you a bonus action or
No,
an
it's just
action?
an action.
So you wouldn't be able to attack.
Oh, okay. So I'm a snake, though.
Yep. But it is going to make a strength check to see if it can even maintain its hold on you,
Okay.
as you just went from little tiny elf thing to giant massive bloody snake.
Okay.
And it still manages to keep a hold on your midsection,
Okay.
but again, you are now a massive anaconda with this tiny thing now wrapped around your midsection.
Okay. I feel better about that, though.
Okay, with that being said, it is now its turn,
Okay.
and it is, right next to you. It is just going to start
Come at me, bro.
biting and clawing
Yeah. Yeah.
at the now massive thing that it finds itself wrapped around.
Yeah. My AC is very low.
Something tells me a nat 1 ain't going to hit it, though.
No, but everything else will.
Okay. Let's go right down the list. So it can't get its teeth into you in its vision, but it manages to really start raking across you with those claws. As you take a total of 27 points of damage, as it is just
I'm still
raking
up?
the claws through the scales on your side.
Yeah.
And that will bring us over to Devin Hay.
Now, I have an important question. Does Devonay notice that there is now a giant snake in the pool?
At this point, this thing is absolutely massive. You saw what happened, and all of a sudden you see basically the water erupt as you can see a huge scaled body is now under, literally right where Solana and that zombified ape went into the water. And I don't know if Solana has ever wild shaped in front of the party before.
She has.
I polymorphed.
It's usually a giant gorilla.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
she's
right, the giant
ape-fied
gorilla.
herself. Yeah.
I've wild shaped occasionally. Not very
Well-
recently.
Yeah.
Well, Bethany does have a bit of magical background, so I think she would assume that, not just a giant snake arrived on the scene by accident.
Well, if the
To
snake
join the
starts doing
party.
like a weird snake Snoopy dance, we'll definitely know it's her.
Snoopy dance.
Oh my God.
So, how far up on the shore is Stephanie at this point?
Probably about maybe 5 to 6 feet. It's enough that it's not getting washed down, but it's not like full up banked.
Okay, so if I got out of the boat, would it float away, or am I good?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's enough. It's up there enough that you guys could all get out and walk around. But if somebody came out and gave it a decent push, it would right back out.
Alright, so I'm going to get out and go onto the shore a little ways, because if I get in the water, I'm going to hit somebody that I don't want to, probably, so. Just enough on shore that I'm not in the boat. And then I'm going to ready another magic missile just to shoot it if any of the apes become above the water again.
Okay. And that will bring us to our other underwater friend here. Currently has Quen grappled. So as this creature is going to make an attack on Quen, and I keep forgetting this, where you're grappled, its first attack, the bite attack, will have advantage as you can't move. But then after the bite attack, it is going to release you and then just start ripping in at you with its claws. So the first one is a 19. And then the rest of them are 17, 24, 10, and 17.
Ooh.
And
Maybe the party here.
Quen, what is your AC?
Turn into stuff.
Quinn's AC is 15 right now.
Okay, so that is all except for one are going to hit. So it is 7, 8, 6, and 8. So that is 22 and 29 points of damage.
To me?
Yep.
Okay.
As it bites into you, and you feel the teeth sink into your shoulder, and then as it lets go and you feel yourself now being held and slightly pulled back by now one of your party members, all of a sudden these claws just start raking across the front of you.
Ouch. That hurts a lot.
And its turn, and bring us over to Twala, who, Twala, you feel as you had grabbed hold of Quen and started to pull and lightly tap, all of a sudden you feel Quen's body come loose.
Okay. So now that I'm like in the water and I at least have a sense of where Quen is, would it be the same rules as like an invisible creature, where it's like I can make an attack at disadvantage since I have like an idea at least where the thing is?
Yeah, you've got a pretty good idea where the thing is,
Okay.
where you've got Quen as well.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna attack recklessly. I have not
Okay.
been adding my rage damage to any of these, which I just remembered. So I'm going to remember that this time. I'm going to attack recklessly to give myself advantage and make it a straight roll.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and hit the one that that was grappling Quen. with my glaive, triggering my my modified green flame blade as well.
Oh, okay.
All right, buddy, don't fail me now. Huh!
Oh.
Can I retroactively use the golden D20?
Unfortunately, not on that one. Is as you take this right, and just Devin, you notice as all of a sudden you see the bladed end of a glaive come sailing out from the water and then come back down in. Anything else you'd be doing?
I think that green flame blade uses my bonus action. Casting time instantaneous, so I guess not.
Oh, it's instant, but what is it should say whether
It just says make a melee attack with a weapon.
Oh, sorry. I guess it's.
I think it's like a
it's part
combo.
of your-
It's like a magical weapon attack, so it's not a bonus.
Yeah.
In that case, I am going to.
That would mean you still have a bonus action.
Oh, that's an action. Here's what else we're gonna try. No, that would also be an action. Okay, then I am going to do. I'm going to do nothing as a bonus action because the things that I thought I could do are all actions.
Okay.
no.
I'm going to think about what I've done in rolling a 1.
That's fair.
That will bring us over to Quen. Quen, you have just been released by this thing. You feel yourself being pulled back a little by Chihuahua before even he lets go. You know this creature is somewhere out in front of you, somewhere.
Oh, I'm gonna chill touch it. I'm a chilly touch it.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Strange.
touch
Luckily,
me.
that is actually enough to hit. Their AC is
Cool.
not very high, so go ahead and roll your damage. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, as you reach out and touch it, and once more, Devonay, you notice this more than the others do, is after a couple of moments, another one of these bodies drifts its way up to the surface. Anything else you'd be doing, Quen? Is this as this body just literally floats away from you?
Yeah. So as the spell leaves Quen's hand, he's just gonna use his bonus action to turn into mist, and then coalesce back onto the boat.
Oh, okay. So easy enough to for you to pop up there.
He's gonna coalesce, and he's gonna. Oh God.
Oh my god, how many greater roasters do I have? I've got
And do I have throat leeches right now?
probably.
You're really not sure as of yet. It's only been a couple of seconds since you went
Oh
in. Couple of
God.
seconds since you went into the water.
Disgusting. I immediately try to prestidigitate the river water out of my mouth.
I don't think that's how that works.
I can clean something with it. I'm gonna clean my mouth out.
You keep
with
using
some-
that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Okay. And that being said, we find ourselves back over with Solana, the giant constrictor snake.
Yeah, Solana forgets that she should be a support character and heal people, and not like do Christy stuff. But that's okay. So she's gonna constrict this thing if she can. Nope! Oh my god! What in the actual heck?
Solana, I think the two of us should just accept fate and just let the
Yes.
river take us. I think we're done.
You know what?
We're done here. They don't need us.
No. Yeah.
It's
And then
the thought that counts.
can I move away?
You're more than welcome to. It'll get an attack of opportunity against you, but
Oh, fine. I'll just stay here and like look at it. Be like really.
well, yeah, you actually do have a swim suit and you're an underwater creature, so that you wouldn't be able to locate it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at it.
Yes.
Think
Okay,
long
so
and hard about what I've done, which is nothing.
So, as far as this thing is still right next to you,
Yes.
it is going to attempt to grapple the giant constrictor snake once more,
Okay.
and trying to sort of climb its way up towards your head once assuming it
Okay.
can get a grip on you. So, go ahead and make your strength check.
Why? Why would I even make a strength check against that? Because I'm a giant constrictor snake and I can't do anything. That's bloody well useful.
So as this creature once more grabs onto the giant constrictor snake, this time he is only about a foot underneath the head of the snake as he just reaches up and grabs and wraps around the neck. Not sure where he's thinking about going with that one, but hey. And that'll bring us to Devonay, who has seen a corpse float out of the water, seen Gwen apparate onto the boat, and is retching river water.
I haven't seen any movement on the snake side. It's all been underwater so far.
Yeah, the snake is currently underwater with it. I mean, you can see at points like the back, think of it like an eel or a dolphin breaching water a little bit, but you haven't seen anything from the gorilla it's dealing with. That's still underwater. Likewise, you haven't seen anything from Tuala since the glaive a moment ago.
Oh, I healed myself? I'm so sorry. Since I made an attack?
Do you have a bonus action?
Yeah.
If it's a bonus
healing
action
word.
to heal, then yes. Yep.
Do you mind if I do that real quick? I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's. Well, I don't if Devonay doesn't.
Did I cast it? Where did it go? I heard noise.
I don't see a roll as of yet.
Okay. Let me do it again.
I think druids can
7.
still cast spells when
Oh yeah,
Wow,
I'm
shit, right?
shapeshifted. Can I?
I know you can't when you're polymorph, but I don't know about shapeshifting.
Oh, never
just
mind
looking to
then.
see.
I will just not do
hold
that.
on. Well,
'Cause
that's,
I'm a bad
are
druid.
you land or moon?
I'm land.
What circle?
There's land circle.
Well, no, Arctic coast.
Oh, under dark.
Okay, so give me a second. Let me see.
I'm the worst druid ever, guys. I don't know how to druid. I'm like, let me transform into a giant snake.
How to druid.
Not heal anyone. And just be like the worst support class ever.
Well, on the plus side, your healing word popped up.
Yeah. 7 was
Yeah, there
it's pretty
was
good.
something on it.
I'll just wait. It's
That's
okay,
it.
Matthew.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
If
I should
somebody's
know
in
my
there-
class better, but that's okay.
If somebody in chat knows the answer to that, I want to say there's some way that druids can use their spell slots to regain hit points for their wild shapes, but I can't see it in the book immediately, and that may
Yeah.
be something specific to
I know they can maintain concentration while in wild shape.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So that being said, that's a good point. You can maintain concentration, so you would be able to call a lightning strike on yourself for a bonus action.
Okay, I'll do that.
That's it. That's- I was gonna say, or the gorilla if you want.
The
but
gorilla,
hey.
yeah. I'll do it on the gorilla, but I still have to make a dex save. Oh, and so would
So-
Chihuahua, but that's okay. Whatever.
So go ahead and make your roll. 'Cause-
What is that?
Okay. DM's going to be quiet and not offer crazy, stupid ideas. And you said it was a 15 was your spell save?
Yes.
Okay, so Twilight, I need a dexterity save from you as well.
Dex save. Oh, I'm not a monk, but that's okay, I think.
Okay, so this is okay, so Solana the giant snake takes 6. The
Dexterity.
gorilla takes the full amount, as it definitely did not like that. Tuala, you take 12 points of damage as well.
Okay. I might be resistant to lightning damage while raging.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
me check my
That's
character sheet.
And aren't you lightning aura, dude? What do you have
Yes.
resistance?
That's a good point.
Dorm Soul. Yup, resistance to lightning damage. And I can breathe underwater? What? And I have a spin of 30 feet! I should have looked at this before!
We all know
This
our
is super
characters.
relevant!
We all know our characters so well, guys. It's going great.
Get it home, learn from our lessons, and know your character.
Knowledge is power.
Okay.
The more
So I
you
take
know.
6.
So you take 6 points of
Devin, I know your character.
So, Tiffany, as you're watching, as you can see the back of the snake, you know, this random coils sort of writhing, popping out of the water occasionally. All of a sudden, you watch as a bolt of lightning slams into, literally
I
slams
can't.
into the body of the
I
snake.
can't do that. Digitio says Player's Handbook, page 67.
Right. So if you read what he put in
Oh,
there,
but-
transforming does not break concentration,
Oh,
however,
yeah,
or
okay,
prevent
I
you
was-
from taking actions such as call lightning.
Okay, gotcha.
So-
Thank you, Digitio.
Yeah, thank you very much, Digitio. Appreciated.
Someone
So
knows
is,
something.
So, as the lightning bolt slams into the top of the snake, you watch as it rides a little bit as you watch the little shockwaves emanate through the water. You still don't see that gorilla. It's still under there with the majority of the snake body.
Alright, looking around in my near area, is there a decent sized rock that I can...
Go ahead and make a perception check. And you find one, say, about the size of a golf ball.
Oh,
Not
good
great,
enough.
but not horrible.
I would like to cast a light on it and attempt to throw it where everything is happening. Hopefully give a little bit more clarity.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it will actually work or not, but that's what I'm going to do.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check. So see how well your aim is for your little rock toss. Oh yeah, fine. It manages to sort of and just slowly float down. Twala, you notice all of a sudden the small beacon of light is now, slowly sinking right in between you and this massive green snake with a gorilla zombie currently wrapped around its throat.
Alright, I'm gonna make a
That's my turn. brother. Yeah, I'm
quiet
done.
wisdom check. Just for my own self. Actually, I'll make a... Okay. Alright. Is my turn?
Yep, definitely just ended hers. And
Sweet. Okay. So, love it.
Do it. Whatever you think of, do it.
Well, in my head, I said on odds, I don't know that the snake is Solana, and on evens, I do. But then I rolled then I crit failed. So now I kind of still want to not know it's Solana.
Do it.
What I'm gonna do, so now I can see it. I'm gonna attack recklessly again. I'm gonna attack the gorilla zombie, with green flame blade again, or green lightning blade, I guess,
oh, okay.
with advantage.
Yeah.
That'll hit. Go ahead
There
and
we
roll some
go.
damage.
All right, so there's damage number 1 plus an additional.
Dang, 22, man.
plus an additional 6 damage for the lightning, for the glaive. We're gonna say the green flame blade. I'm gonna use the bonus action since I'm all of a sudden there's a giant snake, and I will splash damage Solana with the green flame blade, not knowing that it's her.
That's fine. I hit you with lightning. Whatever.
So she takes 5. She takes 5 lightning damage. And then I am going to use my second attack to attack the gorilla again.
Oh! Something does that one right up for.
And
So
just in
I don't
case he's
even-
not dead, I'm gonna hit him with the glaive haft.
Hold on, let's see. I think there's a point. Yeah. So, Tuala, how do you want to do this?
All right, so so by the light of this little like pebble that as it floats down, if Solana's giant snake head is facing the right direction, she can kind of see Tuala like get this like horrible grin as he apparently realizes he can breathe underwater and can see his enemy. He draws back the glaive behind him, and the entire like length of it from his arm up to the blade is like crackles with lightning, and he just like stabs it into the thing's like right into its chest, and the lightning like washes out, which is the part that kind of hits her. And then he just sort of like twists it so that the blade goes from being pointing down to like facing up, and then goes and rips it out the top. And in the same motion as he gets to the apex of the swing and the back end of the glaive is facing it, he just like, for good measure, just like rams the rounded haft of the glaive like right into the thing's eye socket and just like.
Solana
Yeah.
mistake is like, yeah, that's really metal.
So metal.
That's so metal.
There
So,
you go.
you guys are technically out of initiative, barring anything being done by Tuala at this point. As his turn ends, Solana, what would you, Quen, what would you be doing as you see a third body float up?
I don't think Quen is paying attention. Quen is like coughing, gagging, trying to do whatever he can to throw up whatever he swallowed. He swallowed anything.
Solana will drop. Shit. Well, first she'll peek her head up out of the water. I'm like looking at everyone and be like. And with her tail, she'll be like,
I'm a snake.
I'm a snake. Oh, guys. And then she'll drop form and she'll pull herself up onto the boat. So I'll delete that.
What- And with that being said, all of a sudden, Tuala, as you're swimming and you're looking at this giant snake glaive at the ready, all of a sudden you watch as a little tail pops up, and you have that moment of clarity. As
And then I'm gonna cast Lester Busto on me, Tuala, and Quen for throat leeches. Oh, we don't know if we have throat leeches, right?
no, so
I don't think I ever made that check.
yeah, I was going back and looking through the thing. I need both you and Tuala to go ahead and make Constitution saves for me.
Well, I've definitely got him.
Okay.
So, Solana, you're feeling absolutely fine at the moment. This, as far as you're concerned, let's see, as you're looking at the others, let me check my little pamphlet of diseases that, throwing people in rivers can give them. As you have popped up and as everyone's sort of climbing back up to the boat and the shore, and you come across Quen, who is actively retching over the side of the boat.
Oh, Gilded.
I just take a peek here, because where is my There we go. Okay. Okay. So, for Tuala and Quen, as you guys are getting back out of the water and back up onto shore with the rest of your party, you notice after everything you're feeling your throat feels a little bit tight and you feel a little short of breath.
Okay, I'm familiar with this feeling, so I would ask them that if they felt that way. Because I've had these throat leeches before. How are you guys feeling? How's Griff?
I swallowed water. I feel parasite.
Well, I am going to touch you, and you have not that.
So as Solana touches you, you definitely feel this sort of warm, radiant glow through your throat, and
And then I
yeah,
go,
you don't have that.
and I spit out a bunch of dead leeches.
I never thought of it that way. That's gross. Okay, Quinn, I come up to you and I'm like, Quinn, honey, how are you feeling?
Burp.
Okay, and I touch Quinn's throat very gently, and I.
Quinn just like dribbles out the rest. He's like,
Ugh.
and then he just like lays back into the boat,
Okay,
and then like curls up against Solana.
I'm gonna cure wounds on Quinn. How bad is Quinn? Quinn, how bad you feeling, bud?
Quinn could be better. Thankfully that shield guardian is around to soak up a lot of Quinn's
Okay.
bad choices.
I will do it at level 1 for Quinn, so you get 5 back,
Thank you.
and then I'm gonna do it at level 2 for me, because I need some cure wounds myself. So I've got 12. Okay. And yeah.
So as you guys are all standing on the shore, as you watch the couple of bodies floating in the river, drifting ever so slowly to the south.
Yep. Gross.
Well,
At this
ready
point,
to
it's
keep
still
going?
early afternoon. You can continue on your way, make camp early. The day is yours. You can do anything.
Well, I used a lot of spells, guys, because I tried a little bit to do stuff, but it never works out that way. The point is, I could rest, but if you guys want to continue going on this adventure, we can give it a shot.
Actually, while you guys are thinking, let's do this. It's just about 10:15.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't realize that we'd run a little past 9:30, so we're going to use this as an opportunity for our party to think things over for a moment, but also to run and grab a beverage, a drink, facilities, whatever we might need to do. So we'll be back shortly. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. Don't forget to check out Dicebard, dicebard.com. You can also find them on Twitter for some great D&D related dice, shirts, all sorts of fun stuff. And we'll be back soon to find out no more like 3 to 7 minutes. And we'll find out what our party's off to next. Thank you very much. We'll be back soon. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for your patience and take care of don't forget to check out Mystic Hour this Thursday night as we jump back into our adventurous Cholta and give, Christy another shout out. So our party has just managed to survive a somewhat harrowing event with some zombie Gorlons. Now, Sarah knows very well what they look like. That's funny as hell that just happened to be what I rolled.
Zombie gorillas.
You might know what they look like. You might find out, 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
So, as our party has made their way back onto the shore, sort of reconvened after Solana being very familiar with the discomfort that is throat leeches, offered to aid Quan and Tuala. Our party is now left standing next to Stephanie / Stefan / Melik, the multiple named canoe. And it's about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours before typical afternoon or evening dinner time. The remainder of the day is yours. What does the party want to do?
Let's keep going.
Devonay watches as they float in the direction that we would also be going in. Well, you guys are still exhausted a little bit and used a lot of spells, but I'm brand new, so I don't really care what you guys decide.
I am likewise impartial.
Solana, real quick, Twitch chat is saying you're muted. But it's only
I am
you.
muted. Because I can't produce. I can't druid, I can't produce. It's great.
Hey, you can druid plenty well. You turned into a giant snake and struck yourself with lightning.
That was so useful. Okay, so I say that we stay here. Thank you, Digitio. And we recover some energy and spells, but if you guys want to keep on pushing on, that's cool with me too.
Well, Quen, I think it's up to you.
Let's just keep going.
Okay, we'll go for a couple more hours. Are you okay? Do you need a blanket?
Yeah.
A wet blanket?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So I guess we'll get back in Stephanie and travel for a couple more hours.
Okay, so you continue traveling through the remainder of the... You don't run into any other issues. For the first, 5 or 7 minutes, as you're getting back into the canoe and pushing out, you're watching as you can already start to see small carrion birds and creatures coming out of the jungle to come and peck away at what remains of the rotting flesh on the bodies floating downstream.
Gross. Can I light them on fire and they'll sink or something?
Well, you can certainly try if you'd like to.
Let me see if this is... How far away are they?
Oh, well, this is literally, you guys are just starting to move past them, so they're maybe 5-6 feet. I mean, realistically, they're floating beside you. They're close enough that you could reach out and touch if you wanted to.
Oh,
Don't light the Stephanie on fire.
Oh no, I'll just try to light one on fire and see if it sinks or not.
It's easy enough as you reach out and, drop this ball of flame right on the chest, and you watch as what little bit of the hair that's not wet and the flesh slowly starts to catch fire as the fat starts to burn, and
Oh, okay. That's
Tuala is spoken words of wisdom, as the majority of you probably aren't really interested in dinner this evening. It's a very unpleasant odor.
I thought it would sink. Sorry, guys. I don't know anything that can make it sink. Actually, like, no spells.
Well, we're gonna leave these behind fairly quickly, so
Okay.
just let the birds eat them.
Okay.
They need food too.
Okay. Can you tell how Volta's doing, like feeling wise, or just not at all?
As far as I know, he's still alive, and
Okay.
that's about it.
Well, that's good.
So as you guys continue on the remainder of the day, you don't really notice any other scents as you guys were traveling by, and it's really hard to get that smell of burning fur out of your nasal cavities.
I would like to tear two small strips of cloth from my garments, and I would like to stuff them into my nostrils.
I probably have like herbs that you could just like wipe.
I've
under
already
your
done it.
nose.
It's too late.
Okay.
Well, he's got two very lovely tusks now coming out of his nose, made out of some sort of
Love it.
cloth and fabric.
Would I have an herb like camphorus that would you could just rub under your nose that I could offer to people?
Let me see what you have picked up in your journeys. I know you've picked
Oh, I haven't.
a bunch of different like fruits and different things like that from time gone past.
Yeah, I have no idea if I have anything. Let me see.
Okay, I know you had picked a bunch back in the day, so we are going to let us say we'll let fate decide. So go ahead, do me a favor, roll a d6. Actually, we'll say roll 2d6 because I know you guys found a couple and I can't remember what they were. So okay, so you have let's see here. Okay, you have a couple of fruit that you actively remember what they are, as the dancing monkey fruit,
Oh, bummer.
which you're really not sure if those are going to be any help for what you're looking to do. The other one, I don't know if you guys ever tried to do anything with, which are just a group of small, dark brown berries.
Am I perhaps familiar with these?
Yes, you've seen these before.
You just signed
Only
two,
just
didn't you?
now.
Oh, I didn't see that either.
I was researching. Oh my god, help me.
I'm
Oh.
aware of that.
I think the reaction's better than the actual thing.
Mhm.
Oh my god, I didn't notice either, and then I heard that, and I thought he was having like a heart attack.
All the air deflated from that.
Yeah.
I cannot breathe through my nose.
Well, it's hard to take you seriously right now.
And what's worse, if y'all have seen the old Tom and Jerry cartoon where the Uncle Mouse comes over with the giant mustache, he goes, "Come on," and it keeps flailing out. Every time he talks, that one little piece flails out. It's like, yeah. So Tuala wouldn't know what these berries are. These are Cinda berries. You know that they can be used in different things and can help give benefits and advantage against diseases and poison.
Ooh.
But you also know that they tend not to be good for more than a day or so.
Oh, we've had him for a while.
Given that these look a little dried up, you're really not sure how effective they would be.
You have carried these for too long.
Okay. I'm learning.
Although the dancing monkey fruit,
Yeah.
that's still looking okay.
I know I have a bunch of other stuff, but I don't know where it is, so it doesn't matter.
That I don't know. So
Like, I've got stuff I wrote down in my book, but not on my sheet, kind of thing, because it was just so much stuff. Like, we have a strange root with medicinal properties. We've got mushrooms. We've got different roots. It's all that kind of stuff.
For today, this is the menu.
Oh, yep. Yeah, you found a couple of roots. You found a couple of different things, but...
We found a lot. Riot roots.
Yep.
We found some... Oh, we still have the glow nuts.
Uh,
But I still don't know what they do. I had no idea what the glow nuts do. Hey, Tuala, have you ever seen these nuts? They glow. Wait, that sounded bad.
I will gladly examine your nuts. Bring them here.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a survival check, Dwala. Okay. So, with these, Sana's handing you over a couple of waka nuts.
Waka nut.
Walker nuts.
So, you know that if it's, when you shake it, it gives off bright light in a 10-foot radius. Tends to fade after about a minute. They just will continually do such. Shake it, it lights up for a minute, goes out, you shake it again, comes back on.
Wow.
The minute you crack the nut open, it loses the ability. It loses all the ability to do this.
Okay. And give everyone a waka nut then, in case they need to see something.
Do these Waka nuts also tell chicken crossing the road jokes and are
Waka waka waka.
a bear, a small hat, kerchief?
I love Fozzie so much. I love the Muppet. I've got a Kermit around here somewhere.
Yeah. Congratulations, you guys just met the mini boss.
Please welcome tonight's special guest, a Mummy Lord! Yeah!
So as you guys continue on your way, it gets to be about the time you can keep pushing through to the end of the evening, through the night. You can stop and take a rest,
We're gonna
whatever you
stop
want.
and take a rest, otherwise we'll be exhausted.
You can be exhausted. It ain't that important, right?
So
I feel
exhausted.
like I've been exhausted for weeks on end now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, so as you guys start to set up camp for the evening, who is taking watches?
I'll take first watch.
We all have to take one, right?
Yeah.
There's only 4 of us now.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we the elves can all trance, so technically I have to take first and second if I wanted to.
It's up to the party.
Quinn, do you want to watch?
Yeah, I'll take third.
Okay, I'll take it
Well,
first.
Gives me
I'll
second.
take 4th. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and let's have some perception checks.
I like Quinn taking third watch because I imagine like him like sleeping the first half of the night and then like waking up and hanging out with Devonay like during like her watch and stuff a little bit.
Okay, so as our group proceeds to sort of set up camp, for those who are feeling adventurous or hungry at this point after the zombie burning incident, you managed to eat, get yourself nourished for the night, set up watches. Is there anything anyone would be taking care of during the evening?
I would like to attempt to fasten the Waka nut to my glaive so that I can shake it and light it up when I need to be able to see in the dark.
Oh, okay. How are you attempting to fasten it?
I would like to use perhaps perhaps some sturdy plant fibers and create a sort of a mesh so that the light can escape. Sort of a mesh. Oh boy,
A net?
I've made a nutsack. I heard it as I was saying it.
So,
Well, that's what I want to do.
So you will.
well, first thing I need you to do then go ahead.
You
and
know
make
what?
a sur-
You know what? I think this is a good time for the golden D20.
Okay.
Yes.
So is Twala, you managed to make a pristine plant fiber nutsack
No.
that is now attached about like a good 5 to 6 inches down from the actual blade of your glaive, so that you're fairly confident that as you're swinging it around, you won't damage it. But again, given you have used your nat 20 for this evening on this crafting project, you also managed to make it so that you can open it. Should you mess up and crack the waka nut, you can replace it with another nut without having to restitch another sack.
Cool. Cool.
You heard it here first, folks. Twala just used his nat 20 to craft himself a nutsack.
There it is.
So
Waka
should be the title of
waka.
our episode, but won't be.
Waka waka waka.
Oh. See, and yes, this is awkward. This just gets worse and worse. And you know what? It is your fault. No, wait,
It is your
fault, awkward. So I realize it doesn't have the same effect as I point at my cell phone at where he's texted in the Twitch chat. So as the rest of the watch passes without incident.
Oh, I want to look for herbs on for my herbalism kit and learn about them and what they do.
Okay, are you looking for anything in specific, or
No, I'm
just...
trying to learn.
Okay. So... so I got to ignore Twitch chat. So go ahead and make a survival check.
Oh, not my herbal. That's the same thing. Okay.
Oh, herbal, yeah. Ooh, hey, even with disadvantage.
Yeah.
So you spend a good portion of your watch as you're walking around. The Solana version of "ooh, piece of candy" is "ooh, new herb, ooh, new herb." And you managed to get through the watch with no negative impact, so to speak. But at the end of it, you've managed to point yourself up. Do me a favor, roll a d8. Okay. She managed to come up with 6 different herbs and other, like herbs, roots, things of that nature that you think with your herbalism kit you might be able to do some work with to potentially make different, I guess we'll call it poultices and things, maybe to help deal with poisoning, to help alleviate poisons or to help heal people for different things. You'll have to spend a little more time with the different herbs that you found to see what each individual one does, but
I can do that another time, though, right?
yeah,
Okay.
it's the ones you went. Given that check, you're pretty sure that the way you collected them, they should be good to stay for a little while.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Likewise, you don't know 100% because you don't know how quick these. You're not familiar with these items you found.
Right.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? We got Twala, Solana, Devaney, and Quen. Anything either of you would be doing during your watch?
Either North Watch stuff or Gwen.
Okay.
Devonay will spend part of her watch throwing her hand axe into a tree and then recalling it back to her hand.
Ooh.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
for a good half an hour.
Just every couple of moments. Ka-thump. Ka-thump. Quite as you would have you're probably hearing this off in the distance somewhere. It's just and easy enough to just sort of stick your head out and see her doing it.
Yeah. I do one of these like rubberneck actions and I'm just like, feel you.
As the evening starts to come to a close, or I should say the late night, Devonay, the sun is starting to creep back over the tree canopy again as the rain clouds have faded away throughout people's watches.
And we have 1 level of exhaustion.
Yes, you are down to 1, so you are now back up at full movement speed.
35.
And still have disadvantage on checks, but hey, you're getting there.
You're almost like normal people.
I know,
Almost.
right?
So
Why do we have
it's-
Devonay make all the checks, like survival and stuff?
Because I'd still probably be worse than you.
So as the day comes together, you guys find yourselves preparing breakfast, getting the camp all situated and whatnot. The day is yours.
Sounds like it stopped raining so hard in the face all the time. So this should be a good day. Maybe. Unless we get attacked by giant, like, ape things again, but we'll see.
Giant anything, really.
Yeah.
Really,
Zombie
truly.
things especially, because they come back to life, so. Who wants to plant a bean?
No, I've had enough beans
Okay, let's not plant a bean. Alright,
for now.
let's
Maybe in a week or so.
Alright.
If I have one more unexpected surprise, I'm gonna die.
This is true, we've had a lot of unexpected surprises lately, so. Yeah. Okay, let's get in the boat. No?
Sure,
Okay.
let's go.
We're off. Solana, let's spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel of fate.
Okay.
Yee.
You're pretty sure you got a decent bearing on where you're heading. So as you start heading southbound, you get your bearings and starting to move out for the day. You realize you're a little further east than you had meant to be.
Probably.
I think you got a little spun around in the storm, but you think with Quinn's help with Bookmark, you seem to get yourself sort of back on the straight and narrow, and proceed to start your day's travel heading southwards.
Towards Omu.
So as we have Solana and Quinn sort of navigating, Tual and Devonay, anything in specific you guys would be doing during the day's travel?
Keeping watch.
Keeping watch and thinking about Volta, as he hasn't been around.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing much.
Okay, so as for those of you keeping watch on the area, do me a favor, go ahead and make a perception check. Okay. So, as you're traveling through, you don't really see much going on. You're not getting any sort of real sense of anything going on in the area, but it seems to be maybe an hour, 2 hours in, you notice that there's a section of the tree canopy off on the left-hand side of where you guys are. It seems a shade or two darker than you'd anticipate. It's like the canopy's a little thicker, or for some other reason the sunlight isn't really reaching into that area as well as you would expect it to through the canopy. Sort of marks it to you as a little odd.
Guardian, just there. What do you make of that?
It's an odd bunch of trees.
Is it
In the distance,
natural?
we can still
I
see
don't
the
know.
heart, right?
Off in the distance, it's a little difficult to see at this point for you guys as you're getting a little further away. But yeah, you can sort of make it out in the distance.
All right, so I'll point at it and say, "Do you think it has anything to do with the heart and what we found there?"
Perhaps. Maybe my passenger can be of assistance.
And Tuala, you would be somewhat familiar with the heart of Ubtao and reports that some mage had recently taken up residence in the heart. It's for most people who believe in Ubtao view this as a quite a serious offense.
And geographically, we are in the correct location for such a thing.
50 miles away.
It's actually a little closer because now that you guys have
Oh.
We are
sort of
not
got your head screwed on straight.
Oh. 40-ish miles away.
It is certainly possible that this is the location that the rumors of a defiler and an interloper in these sacred jungles has taken up residence here. I
Yes, we met
believe
her.
it is at least worth investigating.
We met her once. She was kind of nice.
Well, until we left and spied on her.
Well, she didn't know we were spying on her, and she didn't know that we knew that she was making undead. But until then, she was nice to us.
Yeah, and then we didn't go back because,
Yeah.
You have encountered such a creature.
The lady, yes.
Yes.
What lady?
The mage.
the
Her name
lady
is-
in the heart.
She is from of the Red Wizards of Thay. Her name is
Yes.
Valindra Shadowmantle.
Good memory.
I know not of these red wizards or of this Valindra, but an outsider, a wizard no less, has taken up residence so close to the heart of Ubtao. It is
I know she lives in the heart of Ubtao. The floating thing, right? She lives in there.
My
this-
point is,
And this is something that I know is like no, not okay for the people
It's for those who still worship Ubtao. It's those who they would consider it a sacrilege if they were aware that somebody was living in it.
Tuala is definitely a believer in Nuptao. She says, that is desecration of the highest order.
Oh. Do you wanna talk about
For
it?
now, I shall settle with investigating the strangeness in those trees.
Okay.
And yeah, that was my original point. Was wondering if that strangeness had to do with, because it is in the area, but it could be unrelated.
Well, why don't we go poke at things that we shouldn't poke at?
Yeah, it's never really,
A
got
good
us into
poke.
Cold War.
I don't think we've ever poked at anything good.
No, we haven't. You're right, Solana.
Although we found artists and Dragon Bait just floating along, singing a song side by side.
Yeah,
so-
we also got captured by some frog people, so
Well, yeah, we did that.
My people tell a story of a young man who poked a hornet's nest.
What happened?
Well, the short version, the moral, anyway, is that while poking the hornet's nest may lead to strife and pain in the short term, if you don't poke the hornet's nest, you do not learn anything.
So we should poke stuff?
It is a children's tale, but yes, we should go poke stuff.
Okay, I shoot an arrow at the dark spot.
Oh no!
Have we gotten out of the boat or anything yet? Floating fast?
So go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
So that'll hit. Go ahead and roll. As you all are speaking and starting to pull the canoe over to the shore to go off and explore, so all of a sudden you hear the familiar twang of a bowstring as you watch as Solana lets loose an arrow into this darkened copse of trees. And all four of you hear the somewhat familiar sound of an arrow hitting something. You don't hear any sort of a response, no cry, no sound, other than the arrow hitting its mark.
I poked it. Should we go see what it is?
I have learned nothing from this, yes. I
Okay.
believe we must get closer.
is the canoe pulled up on the same side or the opposite shore?
The same side.
There you go.
I just didn't want to be wading into water when I didn't have to.
Exactly. It'd be on the same side. Alright, I got another arrow at the ready though, and I'm walking up. What's everybody else doing?
As we approach, I would like to reach within for the power of the creature that I made a bargain with, and draw it forth to my eyes and gaze into this darkness with this guy. So I'll cast detect magic as we get kind of ow, it's funny boned myself as we get close enough that I could reasonably
Yeah.
the detect magic would reach within that kind of weirdness.
So it takes you guys a good 4 or 5 minutes to get off the canoe and start heading over that direction. Devaney and Quen, anything you would be doing in preparation for what you're walking into?
Oh gosh.
It
I
could
would
be a
have.
friendly person, and I just shot him with an arrow. We don't know.
I would have both swords drawn and be reviewing some spells while I'm at it as well. But swords are out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'll be ready. And I'll just be ready.
Okay. So you guys make your way in to the into this area. You see as you start getting closer, and the little, almost the grove itself seems to be very dark. As you're walking in, and Tuala, you reach within to find that power, and you start looking around. Immediately, your eyes are pulled. As you walk in, it looks to be about a 20-25 foot round grove within this small section. Immediately, your eyes are pulled about 10 or 12 feet off the ground to your right-hand side, where you see a small bag that appears to have a number of glowing vials or bottles in it.
Does it look like? Is it like?
It
Can I
looks
see
like
it
it's a
physically, or just with my magical sense?
No, you can see it in the distance. It's very dimly lit.
Okay.
Think of it like liken it to you've walked inside your darkened house after standing outside looking sort of up near the sun. You walk in and everything is just that dark.
Okay.
A little difficult to see due to the light you've been dealing with, but you can still see this pouch hanging there. And the fact that as you walked in and sort of gave it a once over, there were 3 or 4 brightly glowing images in this pouch. Your eyes were drawn immediately to that.
Okay.
What the rest of you immediately notice is on the far back large tree in the back of this grove, you see a body hanging upside down
Oh,
with 6 spears driven into its body, 3 in each side, in a symmetrical pattern,
oh. That looks ritualistic.
with no head.
Oh.
What kind of body is it? Like person, dwarf?
You'd have to get up closer and actually take a look at it. At this distance, it's too dark to make out. You can see it has some sort of a cloth robe or something on it, and some sort of cloth clothing on it.
The pouch that I saw, is that hanging off of this body?
No, it's actually hanging off of what looks to be like it was thrown up on a branch.
Okay.
You don't know if it how it ended up there. It's off to the right a little bit, whereas his body is straight back from where you guys are entering.
So I'll point the if not that it's visible, at least like where it is, I'll point out to the party, and he'll just say, "There is a bag or a satchel of some sort there. The air around it reeks of magic."
Should we take it?
The Devaney points at the body hanging. Maybe we should investigate that first.
Okay, I'll go with you. I'll put away my bow and arrow, but I will produce flames.
And I apologize, I should have mentioned, sticking out of one of the thighs is an arrow.
Oops.
The only non-symmetrical wound on this body.
Well. Oops. I'm sorry, dude, and too bad it doesn't have a head and we don't have Malik. But the point is, I will go with you and I will light my hand on fire so we can see a little better.
Okay, so as
Well,
those of you...
everybody coming along, or
I'm coming on.
Quen will go along. Quen will come along also.
I
So-
will sort of slightly flank the perimeter as they approach.
So as
My back to them, facing outward.
So as you guys get a little closer to it, you can tell it definitely appears to be one of the taller humanoid races. Without a head, it's hard to tell specifically what one, but you can tell it's much too large to be one of the shorter races like a gnome, druid, or halfling. Seems to be, from what you can see, fair skin, large pool of blood on the ground underneath it leads you to believe it was either alive or very freshly dead when the head was removed. Beyond that, you really don't notice much other than the symmetrical spears and the bright red robes that it's adorned in.
Oh, that would be that thing, Quen.
Yes, he does look like something like a red wizard.
Are the red wizards bad? I forget.
Depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
Well, they're not the nicest people around,
Okay.
and if my memory serves correct, one of their head wizards is a well-renowned lick.
Okay. Well, that's not good. Alright. So that's good that it's dead. He's dead. She is dead. It's dead. Should we investigate the body for stuff? Or do you think it's
Who
all...
killed it is the other question.
May I, at this point, approach and, without touching anything, examine the spears to see if I recognize the make?
Sure, go ahead and make a perception check. It's a little hard to see, but you're familiar enough with this territory that for you would even recognize these. They appear to be Batali goblin spears.
Goblins.
How fresh does the thing look?
Looks like it's been at least a few days.
Okay. Okay, should we check the robes for anything? No? Okay.
I mean, if you want to, I'm really not extremely interested.
Does anyone else want to?
I gesture again to the
Oh, you.
satchel of magical items.
Okay, let's just take the satchel of magical items and leave. I'm sure that's not a trap or anything. Let's go.
What type of a check would it be now that I'm familiar that is Batali goblins? How am I trying to phrase this? Would he be familiar enough with their sort of behaviors and tactics to know if this sort of ritual killing is the type of thing where they would like do this as they were like roving around and came across this person, or the type of thing where they might do it and be like lying in wait type of deal?
Also, you can make this intelligence check, intelligence, maybe nature, or history.
No history.
Okay. As you're thinking over different things you've heard about them, it's not uncommon for them to make offerings for things they consider to be deities. Typically, it's not usually a sacrifice of this nature. It's usually it's like fruits, nuts, things they've gathered. but
These are some pissed off Batali goblins. They want to sacrifice this much.
And there is still no explanation for the unnatural darkness here. We should continue to proceed with caution.
I can thorn whip the bag down so we don't have to actually climb a tree or something.
We should probably do what we're going to do quickly and move on if there is nothing else to be investigated here.
Okay.
I agree. From inside this area, can we see how big it is?
yeah, it's about 20-25 feet in circumference. For basically the open clearing. Again, as you get closer, there's the larger tree in the back where the body is against, and there are spaces between the trees.
Isn't it like a magical darkness? Or is it from the really thick canopy?
Go ahead and I'll say make an Arcana check.
Oh yeah, so good at Arcana. Hey, so good at Arcana.
It's as you're looking around, the light sort of sprinkling in from the canopy, it's about what you'd expect for a heavily overgrown section.
Okay.
It's not until you start
Oh.
turning your eyes to the remainder of the grove and realizing there's no light coming in between the trees.
Hey, guys, there's no light coming in
It's like
from
it's-
between the trees.
Tree and then just a wall of black, a wall of nothing.
I'm gonna shoot an arrow through the wall of nothing.
Okay. So go ahead and make an attack roll for me. Okay. So go ahead and roll some damage for me. As you look around and you fire off this arrow, it sails out, and as the rest of you watch, as it starts to pass into the darkness between the trees, you hear the sound of an arrow striking its mark. And all of a sudden, the darkness moves, and Solana, you watch as the form turns to face you.
Oh.
And that's where we'll call an end to tonight's session.
No!
Don't. Tonight's
Solana
name
has-
is Don't Poke the Hornet's Nest.
Just don't shoot arrows at it.
But if you hadn't, what would we have learned?
Not to
Nothing.
poke the Hornet's Nest.
So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining with us this evening as we have made our way slightly closer to the heart of Ubtao than anyone actually meant to, but have found a
Again.
strange grove of trees with some sort of dark entity that has just been shot by Solana.
Oh no.
So we will pick up here next week to see what happens to our group as they have stumbled upon what appears to be some sort of ritualistic murder with a missing head.
I would like to apologize to the group beforehand.
Perhaps apologize to the tree. You appear to have angered it.
Sorry. I'm a druid. I don't like to anger trees. So you're right.
So before we disappear for this evening, we got a couple of more things to go over. Again, we're a little early this evening, or we tend to run a little bit late. Figure it better to get other things now, where we still have chat around, we have the Nat 20 to decide for next week. I want to get chat's input on this. Who do you guys think deserves the Nat 20 for next week? Had quite a lot going on this week. Players, what about yourselves? Anyone you want to give a call out to for things done or not done today?
My vote's for Tuala for jumping in the fight in the water. And then missing several times.
And you never know. He may need the Nat 20 to make another nutsack.
Jesus.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that was kind of...
I mean, it's a cool idea, but it's just unfortunate wording.
Yes.
Well, unfortunate factual name. It is
This
a
is
sack that holds a walker.
This is a PG-13 program, so I won't go into like further detail. But the more you think about it, the absolutely worse it is.
Yep.
Did you miss most of tonight?
Okay. Yeah, looks like Digitio missed a bunch this evening. What about our fellow viewers? We've got Matman Gaming, Apricot, Apricot Droop Fruit, because, you know, that strangely fits with what we're talking about. Skinny Seahorse, Local, Comet Gaming. Everyone else want to give a vote here?
Digitio, I feel like you can make an important decision.
Uh-oh, Digitio, you're being called out by Sarah.
I totally had like something that really made me laugh, and I forgot to write it down, and now I can't remember what it was.
Was it my comment about the cannonballs and we'd crash their cannonball? I noticed you laughed at that, but I don't know if
Was
that
that
what
what
it
it
was.
There was that earlier. There was I'm a snake.
Nah.
Oh,
I
looks
say
like,
Tuala.
Yeah.
oh. Looks like well, we let fate decide it this week. It looks like the party's going to decide it for next week. So Twala, you will have it again next week.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll keep using it for things that don't help anybody in any situation,
There you go.
and that's fine.
Hey, that
So-
light might help us on your wall
It might.
side.
Yeah. Might help in this strange, darkened room.
Yeah.
Well, considering every time he attacks, it's going to give off light.
Yeah.
So, you know, you think about, you swing at something, maybe it doesn't like light.
You go.
You know,
Very helpful.
it could be. Or it may love light and may just all gravitate towards him. You never know.
Oh,
In that case, just cut it off and throw it down in
That's-
the hallway.
Everybody attacking me is usually what I'm going. Fine.
Digitio says that you were a good choice because Kermit was golden along with the tusks.
So all it takes to get a net 20 from Digitio is roll some tissue paper up and shove it up your nose. Remember that, folks. Digitio's watching you. That's how you get the net 20.
Next time.
So with that, we will say thank you very much for joining along. Don't forget to tune in on Thursday night as we have the modifier with Michael. Not sure where he's going this week. Last week he did one hell of a build, basically taking a D&D version for King Leoric from the Diablo series.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then after that we have...
Giving Molfin a
Mystic
lot of
Hour?
ideas.
I wish. Molfin's in enough trouble. He doesn't
Yeah.
need more ideas. Party's ready to kill him and throw him out of the group anyway.
Well,
And then
oh man.
Friday night we have Storm King's Thunder. Storm King's Thunder is getting pretty damn close to a pretty big milestone. So give your ears to the ground. You never know when shiny new announcements are coming as a result of that. We have Waterdeep and the Mad Mage coming soon with your Dungeon Master King Gizzard, the Runaway Lizard. I'm sorry, JJ.
Dead.
And then come November, we have Curse of Strahd with DM Sarah.
Apply. Do it today.
Oh, way over that way, yeah. I always do that because I'm sort of looking at roll 20, but Yeah, apply. You can do !Strad. You can find it on Twitter. Follow the link down there. All different manner of ways that you can get in and apply. Zara's looking for a few interesting individuals to run through the land of Barovia. So
It'll be fun.
it could be spooky. You never know.
It
You never
probably
know.
won't be
Solana could show up
spooky.
and strike you by lightning.
Yeah, it probably won't be spooky. Let's be honest. I'll be like, this is my band, my voice.
One,
I am strong.
one new person.
Lit.
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 So definitely have some good things coming. And don't forget, folks, when you're sitting during your watch with not else to do but shake your walk-a-light and need to find a way to craft yourself a plant fiber holder for said shakeable light source. Proceed to feel shame for the rest of the episode, and don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, guys.